we want to make Globe accessible for everyone. I come from Prirodoslovna i grafička škola from Rijeka, Croatia, and as you can see, we have a lot of programs in our school. We have gymnasium students who like to study and other students who like to work, so we always have a large Globe community. All the students want to do Globe. We have always more than 50 students in Globe. So these are some pictures from my school. As you can see, we have a lot of chemical labs, and we have a graphic lab where our students make calendars and flyers, books, and we also have a recording studio where they make advertisements and they record songs and all the other things that go with advertisements. My school has been a long time in Globe international projects and excuse me, and we started in 2011. Here is the picture when we were in Estes Park, and our from Dixon, he gave us a lot of instruments so we can do our projects, and we are thankful to iLaces for the help. So we are in this campaign from 2018, and what with a lot of Globe students, we also have a problem. They do not want to present in English. So when we ask them to present, they say, "Oh, I do not know English well. I will embarrass myself. They will laugh at me." So we find a method to make them present. We invite tests. So they had to answer Globe protocols, and the best students are chosen to go to national competition. They want to go there because they get points for the university, so we use them for international projects too. And this is the other students who don't want to participate, they don't. So a few students, about from 50 students, about 6-7 students take the test, and the others don't want, but they work Globe, they do protocols, and they don't care to present. So we solve the problem. So with the teachers who speak native languages other than English, they have problems attending webinars, IVSS and other conventions. They don't read Globe News because they don't understand them, and they want to enter campaigns, but they don't because they are not comfortable with English. And always when they collaborate with other school, they also uncomfortable. So the Globe Diversity Working Group started the initiative for all Globe to be available to everyone, so all the students and teachers could do Globe and they could be active and prevail the language barriers. So when we first talked about it, the first problem was the Globe organization said, "Oh, there is no money to fund the translation." So we came up with another idea to find people who are willing to translate, to find volunteers, and so they we could work with them, but they had to volunteer. I must say that that we are only at the beginning of this initiative, because these are the ideas that just come when talking with each other. We are 7 members of working group from different countries, so we wanted everyone else to understand each other. And when the Globe organization approves our initiative, then Globe will send out a call for students and teachers willing to volunteer as translators. But organization asked, but how this translation will be? Will they be good or not? So we again came with the idea that bilingual scientists will review the translation before they are published. So, and we wanted to recognize the effort of students and teachers who will translate. And the first idea was to give them badges, but they can't use badges in real life. Here is one kind of recognition. This was my student who presented at trees around the globe, and she told me that she used this certificate to enter university because she had 3 choices, but she didn't have enough points to enter the first one, and then she used this certificate and she got 1 point for this, but she entered the university what she wanted. So our goal is for all people to understand each other and to work with each other. And I think this is a good thing because we we know we think that our language initiative will be good for all the people who are in Globe. As you see that you can consider translation in your native language, and when called, be in touch. As I said before, the good things is that the subcommittee for language initiative is formed, and Juan, the other member of the community committee, is here. So if you have questions, he will answer it for you. And thank you very much for your attention.
Peter, do you want to ask that question Peter Nelson, that you have in the chat?
Yes, I would. This gets into a question mainly as an English speaker. When I look at the Globe database, that's all in English. Juan, can you speak? Does that also need to be translated, or when you guys work with, say, a spreadsheet, does that get translated for you? Or is there a space that needs that with this effort you guys are doing, we need to really think about the data that is available and make that easier to access as well?
Peter, this is a matter of prioritizing. This all starts actually because I am also part of the Mission Mosquito Advisory Board. And one of the first meetings I went, we were discussing how to make more use of this awesome platform, and we were saying many ideas, but the first door to open is language. Sometimes the barrier isn't the app in itself or the approach, but the language. So I think the idea is to start by prioritizing protocols, probably apps in the tools in the Globe Observer app. Actually, Dr. Rusty Laws she would love to start doing a pilot in the Mosquito Habitat Mapper app, and started at least with Spanish, and having some and inviting students to volunteer to translate, and some of the adults and scientists, and monitoring that those translations were accurate in order to be delivered to the community. But I think the data speak by itself. Our numbers, and probably that is not where the problem is. It's actually more in the protocols, in the instructions, directions, in the material that we study to do our self preparation. I struggle down here with colleagues in Colombia from certain, well, not everyone is speaking English. And when they are going to study the protocols and have the tests, they struggle with the language. I had help them with those translations myself. So those are the barriers that we need to drop. And we have produced this very important document regarding an assessment that we did recently about the DEI around the GLOBE community worldwide, and we have it in English, but it's a shame that we had no budget to translate that document into the many languages that the original assessment tool was, and those the people from those countries were able to read it in their own language. So I think there is a long way. We are just beginning. We are putting this in the agenda. The good news is that GLOBE is receptive regarding language. The subcommittee, the language subcommittee, was formally created. It's going to work on a regular basis as part of the DEI working group, and that is a great advance so far. So those are the news that we wanted to share with you guys.
This is Peter Falcon. I also noticed one that in the website, although you can translate, you can hit the button and it can translate it from Spanish to Dutch to English. You're right. I mean, there's a nav bar that's in Spanish, but the instructions are in English. So if you can't read the instructions, you're not going to know what to do with the nav bar, or vice versa. So it looks like there's more work that needs to be done there, because it seems like some things are in Spanish, yet other things are in English, and you won't be able to, do the Spanish version because the instructions are in English per se.
Yeah, indeed. And the good thing that can happen here is to start getting to know that this is going on, that we are in this initiative, and be ready in order to put it in practice as soon as we are given the chance to start putting in practice with I know we have a lot of bilingual students around the world that will be more than happy to cooperate translating materials. And as part of our badge system, having this student as translator students, and that will be of enormous help for all of us.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you. And that, and I mentioned in the comments, Juan and Marina, thank you for bringing that to attention. It's definitely something that needs to be a priority. And as Anna mentioned, she said, we don't want to, she mentioned, we have a lot of students who don't participate, or they feel inhibited by English, it not being their, their native language. And we don't want that uncomfortability to dissuade students from becoming part of the GLOBE program. So we try to make it as open and inclusive as we can. I know, and we understand there's always going to be some type of language barrier, because when you're talking 125 countries in the program, it's tricky to get, everything translated into every language. So, I know at the GLOBE program, they're trying their best, and thank you for putting that information out, and that pitch out to bring more people. And I see a couple people here are excited to help out. Spanish, Anna, Ignacios said, willing to help translate in Greek. So, we have some, great people here who are willing to help out with that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you very much for letting us talk about this initiative. And Juan and I are also volunteers, so we volunteer to translate in Croatian and Spanish too. So thank you
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we are quickly at the end here of the half-day 5-hour workshop, and it actually, to me, it flew by pretty quickly. So that's amazing. That we had great content, and we'll talk about that in a second. I just wanted to bring to your attention our next campaign webinar. This will be on Monday, June 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. PM UTC. And it's the people behind the pixels, understanding rapid forest changes to the Andes Amazon region. And this is a speaker from Colombia. And Peter Nelson, do you want to quickly say anything about this? Because you were instrumental in working with the guest speaker for this webinar.
Yeah, I'm really excited to bring Dr. Paolo, as he likes to be called now. He recently graduated with his PhD from Oregon State University in the lab I work in. And so he's taken some of the data and methods that I've brought up to us, and he applied that to an area in Colombia to look at why we have deforestation in the areas that we do and what happens after it. And so he's now working at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center and University of Maryland, working on mapping mangroves. So kind of taking this approach that he used in the Amazon and starting to look at that blue carbon interface between land and water. So he does speak Spanish. So please, anybody who has maybe felt a little left out of our English, primarily English speaking presentations, please invite people to that. He is a really great, energetic young scientist, and we're really excited to have him here to bring that perspective and a different view of the world to our workshops and our presentations. So I'm excited, especially after our last conversation. So please advertise that. It is a slightly different day, Monday, but we really hope that everybody can join us for that and get inspired about some of this new science that people are doing, and him in particular.
Thank you, Peter. And you will see the participants of the campaign will see this invite, the calendar invite, coming out within the week. So I will send that out. I don't like to send out too many in a row because I didn't want to send this one out right before we're having today's workshop because it gets too confusing, too many things on the calendar, trees related. But here we are at the end of the workshop today. As you know, you can go here to look at anything trees around the globe. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and ask anyone if they have any final thoughts. And this is for campaign team as well as any of the participants. And thank you to several of you who have stayed here for the duration. So super excited that you were able to do that. I know it's a long time, but we had a lot to cover today. We had presentations from great students from around the globe. As I mentioned, you know, we have people joining in with a span of 15 time zones. So everything went very well. The recording will be up sometime probably this week or beginning of next week because I have to go in and grab the recording and separate it in the sections. So you will see that coming up. I will send an email out to everyone when that is up and ready to go on the webinar page of our Trees Around the Globe Student Research Campaign website on Globe. Does anyone have any further things they'd like to mention, talk about?
Yes, I wanted to say to Peter that we were Peter that we wanted to make also the translation online when how do you say, on the webinar, so that the students could present in our language and the translator would translate simultaneously. So that was also our idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It would make them feel much more comfortable as well.
All right, anyone else?
I would like to thank you, all of you. especially Brian, Peter. I'm Athanasios. Thank you very much. This is a very incredible event. We will continue to continue this challenge. This challenge doesn't stop for us. We'll continue every day to give data and help people, students from all around the globe to have the best wishes from Greece. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you. Stay healthy.
Yeah, thank you. I like that when you mentioned, you know, the trees challenge won't stop for you. I love that. I love hearing that for sure. All right.
Brian, I just want to say, like, I'm actually really amazed that this went so well, considering we had so many students from so many different time zones and countries, and it you know, it actually worked pretty well considering.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, yes.
For sure. All right. Any last minute? Any last parting words?
I have to say thank you to you guys from here, from South America, Colombia, and Cartagena. And I'm wondering if we are going to continue in number 4 here and in the Trees Around the Globe campaign. That would be like.
Yep. We are hoping we will be continuing. As you know, when campaigns are set up for Globe, they get set up for a maximum of 3 years. But this is end of our 3rd year will be the end of August, beginning of September. But this year, as you know, if you're following the Globe program, they're doing a call for new campaigns, but they're also doing a call for campaign extensions. And our team has got together with a bunch of folks, and we put together GIO, Global Implementation Office, has a template for extension. So we've set up, we've gone through many times, we've addressed all their questions. So we're going to be submitting this extension request by the end of the week. I'm actually meeting with some management folks tomorrow morning. So we're going to be submitting it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we continue, because we have great momentum with this campaign, with this workshop, and you can see all the students who wanted to present, and it's great. And trees are such an important thing right now. Land cover is so important. All these things, green up, green down, carbon cycle, all these things are so vital. And it's not just vital for the Globe program. There are scientists at NASA and other agencies around the world who are looking at Earth data of these same things. And it's such a huge topic right now, so important, with climate change, science, and all that. So, we built all that into our response for this. So, everyone keep your fingers crossed. Pretty sure we have everything we need in there for them to take a serious look. And, we've been really successful being part of, have participants from 55 countries actively in this. So, but thank you for that question, and keep your fingers crossed that we can definitely continue for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. This is not only important because of the trees, that it's a very important issue in the world nowadays, but also because of the data literacy that you have been working on, closing those gaps. That work that you guys have been doing, webinar after webinar, of teaching us how to use data, how to do the story maps, and all those tools are contributing not only in this campaign, but many other aspects in Globe and in the quality of our work. So those 2 reasons should be enough to continue with the campaign.
But didn't Dorian begin with El Nino and then continued with ENCO and then with the mosquitoes? But I feel that is all the same campaign, because we are doing almost the same thing. So can you do something like that?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, because I started off doing the SMAP campaign back in 2014, and that ran for a year. And we went to El Nino, and then El Nino got renamed ENSO because of the what was happening in the environment. So it was 3 years of basically El Nino / ENSO, and then we transitioned into the Trees Around the Globe.
So you
Yeah.
can transition in something
Sure.
similar now.
Land cover around the globe.
We'll find you a new name, so
Right.
so you can go on with the new name and new campaign.
Brian, maybe you should show up at that meeting with some of these students with really sad puppy eye looks. And you're like,
Yeah, right.
I can't say no to that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for that nice enthusiasm. That is really the key that keeps it going and makes it successful. So all of that hopefully will get conveyed as everybody watches this recording and sees the enthusiasm and the success that your students have had learning and presenting and becoming young scientists and hopefully continuing to impact their community like that. So thank you all. We tried something new this year of really highlighting the students doing this research. So this was new, and on to that point, the more GIO hears about what you guys want to do with your students, what you'd like to do, how we can support you, they will respond because that's what they want as well. So thank you all very much for coming today and being part of this. It was really a well run and a good experience. So thank you all.
And Brian, I think Brenda mentioned something in the chat box that I did not think of, and she said she'd be happy to provide a testimonial of support. And I think that would be kind of neat to pepper in there when you do your speech to them. That would be kind of nice to have.
Yep, I will add that into that there are people willing to do testimonials of support for that in the discussion I have tomorrow and in the document that I send out to them, to GIO. Excellent, and I see Bo sent me a message too on the same lines of that. So thank you.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for being here today, and stay tuned for messages from me. And as I mentioned in the chat, if you haven't seen it, I mentioned that I will be sending an email out to the teachers to get the names of all the students, and I will provide them with a certificate with their name on it for presenting today. And it's going to look along the lines of what I sent to Marina that she showcased in her presentation. So thank you all for being here today, and having a really successful Trees Around the Globe student research campaign workshop. That was great. And thank you once again to all the students, the campaign team, and all the participants.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. There's a cup of coffee with my name on it. I know that.
Yeah.